Coming up next, it's the amazing world of Gumball. Coming up next, it's Steven Universe. Coming up next, it's Adventure Time. Scooby-Doo and Batman, the Brave and the Bold continues next. Coming up next, it's RV. Coming up next, it's Teen Titans Go. Teen Titans continues next. Codename Kids Next Door continues next. Chowder continues next. Coming up next, it's a new Lamput. Coming up next, it's Craig of the Creek. Coming up next, it's Regular Show. Coming up next, it's the premiere of National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Coming up next, it's Sherlock Gnomes. Puss in Boots continues next. Rise of the Guardians continues next. Coming up next, it's the premiere of Early Man. The Polar Express continues next. Elf continues next. Scooby-Doo and the Gourmet Ghost continues next. Scooby-Doo and the Gourmet Ghost continues next. Coming up next, it's Twister. Coming up next, it's new Looney Tunes. Coming up next, it's We Bare Bears. Coming up next, it's We Baby Bears.
Yogi și prietenii te așteaptă deja în Jellystone. Urmează imediat. Ești rapid?
Scooby-Doo Shaggy Showdown continues next. Coming up next, it's Total Drama Rama. Coming up next, it's Clarence. Coming up next, it's The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. Coming up next, it's Courage the Cowardly Dog. Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends continues next. Coming up next, it's Uncle Grandpa. Coming up next, it's Apple and Onion. Craig of the Creek, Capture the Flag continues next. Scooby-Doo and the Alien Invaders continues next. Coming up next, it's Arthur Christmas. The Wizard of Oz continues next. Arthur Christmas continues next. Babe continues next. Charlie and the Chocolate Factory continues next. Coming up next, it's Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island. Scooby-Doo Moon Monster Madness continues next. Stay tuned for Scoob, tonight at 6. Scooby-Doo Legend of the Phantasaur continues next. Scooby-Doo Return to Zombie Island continues next. Scooby-Doo and the Samurai Sword continues next. Coming up next, it's Ed, Edd and Eddy. The Amazing World of Gumball, Darwin's Yearbook continues next.
Będzie odlotowo, zaczyna się Robot Boy.
Coming up next, it's Scooby-Doo and Guess Who? Scooby-Doo and the Gourmet Ghost continues next. Coming up next, it's Twister.